The 1999 to 2000 Premier League season began with a managerial change at Newcastle. Ruud Gullit controversially started Alan Shearer on the bench for the 2-1 defeat against rivals Sunderland. 3 days later, and after a run of 1 point in 5 games, the Dutchman sensationally resigned. "I cannot see the point why my family has to suffer for my profession," Gullit said, citing media intrusion as his reason for quitting. "For me, my family always comes first, and therefore I took this decision to resign." Caretaker boss Steve Clarke took charge of Newcastle's 5-1 hammering at Manchester United, a match in which the club's one-time striker Andy Cole scored 4 goals. Former England manager Sir Bobby Robson replaced Ruud Gullit and quickly got Newcastle firing again. In Sir Bobby's first home game in charge, Alan Shearer smashed in 5 goals as Newcastle beat Sheffield Wednesday 8-0. While the Toonami fixed their dugout dilemma, champions Manchester United had a problem of their own to contend with. Mark Bosnich joined from Aston Villa as Peter Schmeichel's replacement. However, an early season injury forced Sir Alex Ferguson to recruit another goalkeeper, Massimo Taibi, from Venezia. Taibi made a series of fine saves on his debut to earn the Man of the Match award in a 3-2 win over Liverpool. The game also featured 2 Jamie Carragher own goals. 2 weeks later, in a career-defining moment of horror, the Italian allowed a tame Matt Letizier's shot to squirm through his legs as Manchester United dropped 2 points in a 3-3 draw with Southampton. Despite their goalkeeping crisis, unbeaten Manchester United topped the table 2 months into the season. David O'Leary's young Leeds side looked like serious challengers, while Peter Reid's newly promoted Sunderland were flying high in 4th. The other promoted teams, Watford and Bradford, hovered above the drop zone, and Danny Wilson's Sheffield Wednesday got off to an abysmal start. In October, Manchester United's 10-month league run without defeat ended with a 5-0 loss at Gianluca Vialli's Chelsea. Massimo Taibi played the full 90 minutes in what turned out to be his final game for the Red Devils. The astonishing win moved Chelsea to within 2 points of Sir Alex Ferguson's side. Later that month, Chelsea faced Arsenal in a battle between 2 title hopefuls. Tor Andre Flo put the hosts 1-0 up at Stamford Bridge before Dan Petrescu added a second after half-time. Arsenal, beaten 3 times in their first 10 games, looked on course for another defeat until Kanu pulled a goal back with 15 minutes to go. The Nigerian scored another in the 83rd minute before completing his hat-trick in stoppage time with a goal from an almost impossible angle. The Gunners' joy was short-lived, however, as they lost the North London derby 2-1 against Tottenham at White Hart Lane 2 weeks later. Elsewhere, Leeds won 12 games out of 14 between August and December to emerge as realistic title challengers for the first time in the Premier League era. The run included a 3-2 win over Newcastle, with top scorer Michael Bridges grabbing the winner. Bridges' former club Sunderland also enjoyed a remarkable first season back in the top flight. Kevin Phillips and Niall Quinn both scored twice as the Black Cats beat inconsistent Chelsea 4-1, prompting serious talk of a top 3 Champions League qualification finish. Leeds fans woke up on Christmas Day with their side top of the table ahead of Manchester United. Sunderland were up to 3rd place by December 25th, while a run of 1 win in 8 saw Chelsea drop to 10th. In the bottom half, Newcastle moved away from relegation trouble thanks to Sir Bobby Robson's impact. Derby, Watford and Sheffield Wednesday occupied the bottom 3 places, with Southampton and Bradford also battling to avoid the drop. After Christmas, Manchester United beat Middlesbrough 1-0 to overtake Leeds at the top. During the game, Roy Keane and several other players furiously chased after referee Andy D'Urso after he gave Middlesbrough a penalty following Jaap Stam's challenge on Juninho. In doing so, Borough became the first visiting team to be awarded a spot kick at Old Trafford in the league in 6 years. "If I had stood my ground, I would have been pushed over," Durso told the Mirror. "The best thing for me to do was just keep backing off and backing off. I felt under pressure." Fortunately for United and Durso, Mark Bosnich saved Juninho's penalty before David Beckham scored a late winner. Many pundits expected Arsenal to challenge Sir Alex Ferguson's side, but a shock 2-1 loss at relegation threatened Bradford in February all but ended their title hopes. "We play in England, not in dreamland, and I think we have to be realistic," Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger told Sky Sports. The result at Valley Parade came 2 weeks before a top-of-the-table clash between second-placed Leeds and first-placed Manchester United at Elland Road. David O'Leary's Leeds team contained several exciting young talents, including Jonathan Woodgate, Harry Kewell and Alan Smith. Meanwhile, Sir Alex Ferguson's team sheet was notable by the absence of David Beckham, who was not selected amid reports of a bust-up. Without Beckham, Manchester United secured a crucial 1-0 win thanks to a goal from Andy Cole. The victory moved the Red Devils 6 points clear at the top. By the end of March, Leeds were still in the title picture, but trailed their rivals by 7 points. Liverpool, Arsenal and Chelsea battled it out to finish in the top 3, while Sunderland dropped to 7th. At the bottom of the table, Graham Taylor's Watford were on course for an immediate return to Division 1. Sheffield Wednesday brought in Peter Shreeves as caretaker boss after sacking Danny Wilson, while former England manager Glenn Hoddle replaced Dave Jones at Southampton. Back in the title race, Leeds pushed Manchester United close, but ultimately it wasn't to be. A 4-game losing run, including a 4-0 defeat at home to Arsenal, saw the Yorkshire side fall away towards the end of the season. 6 days after that match, Manchester United beat Southampton 3-1 at the Dell to ensure the Premier League title was heading to Old Trafford with 4 games still to play. In the fight to stay in the top flight, Bradford's 1-0 win at Sunderland meant Watford were the first Premier League team to be relegated in the 1999-2000 season. Sheffield Wednesday's fate was also sealed after Thierry Henry-inspired Arsenal sent the Owls down with a 3-3 draw at Highbury. Elsewhere, Bradford secured a vital 3 points against fellow strugglers Wimbledon to keep their survival hopes alive. After the game, Wimbledon sacked polarising boss Egil Olsen and replaced him with Terry Burton. Come the final day, 17th-placed Wimbledon and 18th-placed Bradford were level on 33 points. Wimbledon had a goal difference of -26 compared to Bradford's -31, meaning Bradford needed a favour from Southampton to stay up. Bradford's afternoon got off to the perfect start when David Weatherall scored after 12 minutes against Liverpool. The Bantams knew one Wimbledon goal would change everything, but that goal never came. Wayne Bridge scored for Southampton in the 57th minute before Marion Pahars, Saints' final day hero a year earlier, added another in the 79th minute. As a result, Wimbledon's 8-year stay in the Premier League ended, while Paul Jules' Bradford completed the most unlikely of great escapes. After 38 rounds of fixtures, the 1999-2000 season concluded with Wimbledon, Sheffield Wednesday and Watford losing their Premier League status. Newcastle turned things around under the expert eye of Sir Bobby Robson to finish 11th. In the top half, Kevin Phillips finished as Europe's top goalscorer as Sunderland ended the campaign in 7th place, while Arsenal and Leeds qualified for the Champions League. Once again, for the 6th time in 8 seasons, Manchester United clinched the Premier League title, this time more convincingly than ever. Sir Alex Ferguson's men won the league by an astonishing 18 points, leaving the chasing pack wondering what they would have to do in 2000 to 2001 to get close to the rampant Red Devils. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more classic football stories. You can also visit deefaxfootball.com for a range of retro gifts, including a 500-question Premier League quiz book and more than 60 nostalgic football canvases. Alternatively, click the link on screen to take another trip down football memory lane.